He knew what he wanted.
And he produced it.
Yeah, one of the producers, yeah. He knew exactly what he wanted. When you work films, there's not many directors that can put from their brain into their mouth what they want so you fully understand. And George is one of the few directors I've worked with, and I've worked with some absolutely quite big names, that can do that. He can do exactly what he wants, and you can do it. And it makes life so easy. And the last one, which I just did on, was Harry Potter the 7 with David Yates. He's another one that can just know exactly what he wants and get on with it. So there we go. That's my recollection working with George. Great man, all power to his own, but he had the right story at the right time at the right place, and I don't interrupt you. 1 second.
Yes, sir. To further, George did that movie, and he never worked in Hollywood for such a long time because he was so pissed off with Hollywood that he did all his movies in Europe, and he still does it. So.
And what were your recollections? I know there's only producing the Empire and Jedi.
I had a great time, I mean, we did multiple parts, in an Empire. I was Yoda, I was Droopy, Ewok, RTD2, and there was pleasure working with Rusty too, and I did 2nd and 3rd, but he beat me, because he did the first 3.
Yeah, they were inventing characters in the first one as they were going along. I always remember I was only booked to play a Jawa. That was on my contract and on the call sheet. Rusty Goffe was Jawa, but one day I was walking into the studio and the special effects guy said to me, "Rusty, bend over." I was like, they put this upside down polystyrene water system on me, and they were getting plastic bottle tops and sticking it on, spraying them black, put a bit of red tape down and said, called George over and said, "Hey, how about this? What do you like this?" As a robot. And George said, "That's fantastic, I'm going to call that a God droid." And that's how that happened. So I was looking at my feet, I couldn't see where I'm going at all. So we used to be directed, George would say, "Okay, Rusty, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps to the left. That's right. Sorry, George." And that's how it happened. Yeah, wrong droid.
You don't
Is
know
that right
when...
here? I have that? Good. Animal! Sir!
What was it like shooting the stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? It all started with the 4, when Tim Burton asked me to do. Obviously, he did the first one, which was a classic one. But I beat him in the numbers of Oompa Loompas that I played. He played 1, I played 165. Individually. And then they multiplied me numerous times, which we called, with the special effects, computerizing the background. They were like 400 at a time. And it started with 4. They wanted 7 people to dance with me. They couldn't find where my mask. They brought in the kids. I turned around and I said, "It ain't going to work." They said, "Why not?" I said, "Well, A, you put the mask on kids. They need a break. You're going to send them to school. C, they're going to miss their marks. D, they're going to say, I'm hot. I need water. And you only got 4 hours to shoot with them." And I said to Tim, "I'll do it myself." He gave me a high five. I said, "You're on." And I kept telling him, "Bring it on, my friend." And that's what happened with my Oompa Loompas. One will tell him, how about yours?
Yes. But when they're going to make Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, not Charlie the Chocolate Factory, which is called Willy Wonka, the story is why, and why did we have orange faces and green wigs? Well, way back in the late 60s, apartheid was still in the United States, i.e. a black man could not go in the same doorway as a white man. Okay? So, got that. One day, knock on the director's door. And the guy comes in and he says, "I hear you make a movie with all these little Oompa people. Yeah, making the movie. It's Charlie and Chocolate Factory, all the other places. They're black people, aren't they? He said, yeah, they're little pygmies. You can't do that this day and age. You're not allowed to do it. You can't deal with black people as workers in the factory. He walked out and said, what are you going to do about it then? And off the top of his head, he shouted at the guy, okay, I'll give him orange faces and green hair. The guy said, fantastic, that's good, yeah, you can do it. Going out, said, oh, by the way, what are you calling this movie again? He says, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Can't do that. Why not? Well, in the plantations, the big white boss was called Mr. Charlie. And you cannot call him Charlie. Okay, I'll call it Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. And that's how Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, not Charlie Happened, came that nation. That's why we had orange faces and green wigs. And it was filmed in Germany, Munich, and the various studios. And there weren't many dwarfs about. There were only 5 actors in the UK at that time, around about the late 60s, 70s. So I went with 4 of the other guys, and only 4 of us were agile. The other guy was about 78. And then they used a guy from Turkey, from Malta, from Romania, Spain, Germany, to make up the 10 Oompa Loompas. And of course, the language difference was absolutely awful, because we were singing Oompa Loompa Doopity-doo, singing from German, Oompa Doopity-doo. It didn't work. So only like us 4, the agile one, he was in sick bay. The old guy was off in sick bay. So the 4 of us were singing this song with a choir, then we had to mime it. So basically, when you see the movie at Willy Wonka, there's only really 4 guys that are doing the main parts. So the other guys were in the background because they were a foreign national, and they couldn't go lip sync. They couldn't do it. So that is why. That's how I got the job. And I'm quite happy because everyone goes out singing their Oompa Loompa song. Especially after his movie as well. Yeah, even he knows it, it's good. It's lovely. Pardon?
Tim said to me, don't watch the first one because you get influenced by the first one. So I did. I still watched it. And I thought yes, I thought you guys did a great job.
Thank you so much indeed. I thought the person that pressed your button on the computer done a good job as well.
Yes. But then again, I sweated, I worked, and that was hard to press the button.
Yeah, it was very hard to press the button.
It's got cramps in my hand. Got cramps in my hands when I was doing that.
I think it's great, 5,000 Oompa Loompas, one with a lot of sweat too.
There you go.
Okay. Sir?
Before you did Star Wars, before you did Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, what were your first jobs? Like, what did you do before the acting and all that?
Let me take that. My first one was Pink Panther Strikes Again with Peter Sellers. Pink Panther Strikes Back, or Pink Panther Strikes Again. That was done in Munich. And I did Doctor Who, a TV series for BBC. Did New Avengers. Blake Edwards, not Blake 7. Blake Edwards actually directed that. So this was the things before I did Star Wars. I did a bit of stand-up comedy, not a stand-up, I'd say. As much as, that's how I started.
Yeah, my first job at the tender age of 15, in my childhood, I was very musical, always musical, and playing piano, etc. Right? Then I had to join the Boy Scouts, not because they went to camp and tied knots and things like that, because they had a band, and I wanted to join the band. And by the age of 15, I was playing trumpets and the trombone with a slide in it, so I could reach the end. So And so my first job was in a band show, a vaudeville show, in Portsmouth, in the south coast of England, at the end of one of the piers there. So that's my first ever.
Is that where you were discovered?
Sorry?
Is that where you were discovered?
No, I wasn't discovered. I worked for a few years in my life doing a variety of vaudeville shows all over the country, and pantomime, British pantomime, whereas like the fairy story means Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I've done 34 Snow Whites in my life. I mean that, I worked 34 Snow White shows. I've only done 12. But you know, I played in a Snow White version where I was a dwarf. They used 7 children as the dwarves, and I was like the principal comic. It was very bizarre, especially when one of the children was off sick, and they couldn't have 6 dwarves. So, see, when I first started, there weren't many people, dwarf little guys, in variety, and it was only when the big films came along, everyone gave up their day jobs to be into show business. I remember one Snow White. That was in Wales, in North Wales. They had one little guy in the show, and he pulled 6 cardboard cutout dwarfs on a trolley. They pulled, and he took them off to the outside of the stage. He come back all on his own. But you lot wait there, I'll go and find Snow White. Yeah, very, very bizarre. That's great. But yeah, that's how I started. I'm still doing it. I'm doing a movie called Spiderlings, which is a horror movie. And I think it's going to be on a very DVD somewhere in that Azerbaijan somewhere. It's very bizarre. In fact, there was a trailer on the internet this morning. I went on Facebook, and there's a trailer someone put on, the producer put on for me to have a look at. And I pressed the button. Warning! This video is lesbian scene, so it's not on. Who's in it?
Snow White.
I can't wait to get home.
Maybe it was Snow White.
Yeah, well, one of the 12, yes. 2 were, actually. Yes, sorry. Yes, sir!
I asked you before about George Lucas. Could you also talk a little bit about Irving Kershner and Richard Martin?
Irving Kershner, you were with him?
Yes.
Oh, you must know about it.
He directed the second one.
Right.
And great director. You know, it was fantastic. And great experience to work, you know, with him. And I'll tell you a funny story about we were doing a third one. We were shooting a Bond movie on the other stage. Now, Richard Markman was directing the third Star Wars, and Irving Kershner was directing Sean Connery, and for the Bond movie that he'd never say never again. So I went onto the set just to see what was happening, and there's Sean Connery, and Irving Kershner was directing. They weren't ready for Sean Connery, because the gambling casino and Kershner was fiddling with the background people. So Sean got up and he said, Irving. And he goes, yes, Sean. He said, when you're fucking ready, you call me. And he walked off. So that's an experience with him and Irving, but Irving Kershner was a great director.
I never worked with a gentleman.
No?
No. So I cannot comment.
So you never did Empire Strikes Again?
No. I did the first Star Wars.
Wow. And then you did the third one.
Huh?
You did the third one?
No, the first.
Only the
I
first.
suddenly called it to number. Not very confusing.
It's
called
confusing.
Star Wars, okay? It was called Star Wars. Then when it made a few cents and a few bucks, they decided to make 2, 3. That was going to be it. And they remastered it and made some more bucks. And then they made 4, 5, and 6, or 1, 2, and 3, whatever it was. And they moved us to 4.
That was 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6. But it was,
And then they did 1, 2, 3.
So I would just love to see. Yeah, there's talk of that too. It's just, you would love to see the original movie that George shot with all the other actors' real voices in it. Which would be very, very interesting because you've got Dave Prowse playing Darth Vader. He comes from the West Country in England, and they talk a bit like that. They talk a bit like that. That's how they talk, a bit like that. And he'll go, "Hello, Luke, I'm your father." Princess Leia, what are you doing on my ship? See, that's why when James Earl Jones came into it, you couldn't have it, but it must be there somewhere. And if you'd only released that out, I'm sure you'll all get one, all buy it. It'd be absolutely the original classic. And especially, us, people said to us, you TV, say that. I said, and then if I go to the guy say, put your, I said, what the hell was that? I said, what you used to shout. I said, no, when we made the film, that was added in afterwards in the remix. All we kept saying with these costumes was, ouch! That's what we were saying. And if they put that on the movie with Darth Vader or Luke and your father, it'd be stable. Was it? People say, I bet you had fun doing that movie.
Did you?
Fun's not the word I would use.
It was a question.
But 37 years later, here we are. We're still talking about it. Thank God, long live Star Wars, long live the Wonka. Other things. Okay. I'd love to discuss Snow White one.
For each of you, what was your favorite film to work on?
My favorite was Willy Wonka. My first ever movie, my favorite. It was really fun.
Was it your favorite for any particular reason besides just it was your first?
Sorry?
Was it your favorite for any reason besides it was your first? Anything?
Yeah, it was great. It was a very learning curve for me. I had no training at drama school or college. So I just went into just acting in the movie. And although I could sing and move about a bit, dance, that's why I'm doing the cartwheels and everything else in the movie. Because two of the guys that were over there were 75 and 78, respectively. So, there's only 3 of them alive out of the original 10. Now, remember. And the other 2 live in the UK, but they don't travel at all. They're not interested in coming out to meet people. I don't know why, they each their own. I just love these events, yesterday you sit there and people come say, hello, was it hot? Yes. And people queue up, they're listening to all your answers, you chat to them. And the first question they would come and say, hello, was it hot? That's but I love these events, meeting you all. It's just because it's the only time at a conventions like this that movie people, you can meet people that were in a movie. It's not like you're watching us perform on a theatre and you can give instant claps or boos, whatever. You're sitting there with your popcorn and your Coca-Cola, just watching us do it. But this is the only event that we can come to, and you can ask questions, whatever you like. What do we eat? Whatever. That's one.
Every movie I've done, I've enjoyed. So there's nothing one particular one that's about me. So I enjoy making movies, doing movies. So that's me. That's my favorite. They're all.
Yes, sir.
What was it like working with Gene Wilder and the kids? And I met the kids; they're all grown up now. But
Yeah.
I met them all like last year, and they were all like really nice. And
They're really
we had
nice.
much interaction.
Working with Gene. Gene was just becoming a big star at that time in Big Wonka in 1970. And he knew exactly how he wanted to portray this. And no one could turn it on. Even Roald Dahl came over. And Gene wanted to play it like this, which he did. And he was absolutely fantastic. He was a lovely player, he was a lovely guy, a nice, sweet, gentle guy. And there was one bit, he did not want to rehearse was when he shouts at Peter Ostrom at the end, you lied, you took the physics, you lost, all that was his shout. He wanted to get the reaction of Peter. He's all very nice to Peter all throughout the action movie and all this. But he wanted to get his reaction, and so he's screaming at him of the real tears. God, what? And they got that reaction, which was absolutely fantastic. But Gene is a lovely, lovely man. I keep missing him. I was down south the other day, a couple of years ago, in Connecticut, and where he lives, and I just missed him about 2 hours, and he's out again. But he's, yeah, nice guy. And the kids, hey, they were 11, 12, they were doing it. Now they're 40. Yes, Paris should play like TV, it was a right little. He still is. But where the kids were out, they've all got their own stories to tell regarding it. Judy Dorncole, Denise Nicholson played Violet. She always moans that we didn't have our driver's license when we pushed her out. They made on this pot-sided ball that she was in.
Yeah.
She was about just an inch bigger than the doorway. So she kept hitting her head. Yeah, it was fantastic work. I was seeing them again. Yeah. I saw them last year at the 40th anniversary up in New York City when the Lord Brothers put on speech. It was good. Yeah, that was great. We've got time for one more because I'm going to fly at 3 o'clock. I'm going back to London. That's why I live in London. So you take the accent British. I can do an American accent.
Do the American accent.
I did not have sex with that.
You've been practicing that, haven't you?
I've been all day. I've been practicing.
Practice makes perfect.
We were shocked when we heard that.
Yeah.
Right. So one more. So.
Could you, being in 2 major franchises with Harry Potter and Star Wars, Star Wars was a long time ago, but is there anything you can do to compare the 2 experiences? Because they're both 2 of the biggest franchises out there, and you've been in them.
Well, then, yes, you can compare it with Wonka. I think took $2 million to make, where Harry Potter took 200,000. But it was a lot of money to make these big films, Potter movies. But when you think the first weekend that movie is in theatres in this country pays for it. The rest of the week, the rest of the time it's on, the rest of all of England, all of Australia, all the other parts, all the merchandise is all profit. So thank you for going to the cinema.
If it wasn't for you guys, you're the paying customers.
Yeah.
You make the movies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've got a quick photo op now, and then we're back at our tables. And so I'm going to go at 3. He said, well, you're here till you apologise.
Apologies for what?